This just into CBS Sports HQ. Arman Tsarukyan dominated Dan Hooker with a second-round submission at UFC Fight Night in Qatar. Tsarukyan battered Hooker with strikes in the first round before finishing the fight on the ground in the second. He showed no rust from a long layoff, having not fought since April of 2024. Now with the win, the number one ranked fighter in the lightweight division could be on the line to challenge Ilia Topuria for the lightweight title next. For much more on this, let's go ahead and welcome in our own Brian Campbell. BC, great to see you. Let's start with your biggest takeaways.
Look, you have to really be impressed by what Arman Tsarukyan did, coming off of not just a 19-month layoff, but let's not forget, he was in line and all set to challenge the former champion Islam Makhachev in January, but Tsarukyan had to pull out in the final couple of days with a back injury. You saw critics question his toughness, question his professionalism, question a lot of things about him. All Tsarukyan did was go back to the gym, prepare the best he can. He looked like $1 million in terms of the shape he came in. And against Dan Hooker, for as long as this lasted, he looked like a complete mixed martial artist, which, oh, by the way, is exactly what is going to be needed should somebody take this lightweight title from the new champion, Ilia Topuria. Tsarukyan was dominant with his hands on the feet against the much longer Hooker, but most importantly, his bread and butter on the ground, twice spinning out of choke attempts from Hooker, putting on heavy ground and pound, and meticulously setting up the submission win. For everything against him, in this fight, Tsarukyan looked like $1 million. I believe it's time for him to get the title shot. And now we have a very interesting situation here atop this division.
Yeah, you bring up the interesting situation with this dominant win. What is next for Arman, and could it be Topuria?
I think it should be. Here's the situation. We know the first UFC on Paramount card in this new broadcasting era for the promotion is going to take place most likely in late January. Justin Gaethje is a top contender who's injured, not able to turn it around quickly. There's been talks potentially about the number 5 ranked Paddy Pimblett, who is a big star, but maybe doesn't have the critical wins on the elite level next. You heard Tsarukyan in the post-fight interview in the cage. He said, look, couple months from now, I'm ready to turn it around. Send me the contract for January, and I'm here to fight Topuria. In my personal opinion, Topuria against Tsarukyan is one of the best fights you can make in this entire sport. Topuria, two-division champion, ranked number 2 pound for pound. We know about his power. We know about his wrestling ability, but he only has one fight in this division, knocking out former champion Charles Oliveira. Can he deal with the size, the aggressiveness of Tsarukyan, who has been a top-tier fighter in this division for years, like we mentioned, has just missed out, bad luck, bad timing on his opportunity. If you're looking up and down in this division, you want the toughest matchup as of right now for the champion Topuria. That does come in the form of Tsarukyan, and after 19 months away, it's time for him to get active, get busy. This is the fight to make.
On the flip side of this fight, what's next and what's ahead for Hooker?
I mean, Hooker's 35 years old. We love his heart. We love the fact that he's game. He's durable against anyone in there. But you're seeing now, once again, what it's like when he does step up to the highest level. He survived a stretch earlier this decade where he lost 4 or 5 and came back on a 3-fight win streak entering this one, although 2 of those fights were by split decision. The thing about Hooker is he loves to brawl no matter what against anyone. We do have a BMF title that floats around here in the UFC. And when you look at this era of lightweight, which has featured so many all-time great action fighters, names like Poirier, right? Names like Gaethje, Chandler, etc., etc. Hooker has fought most of them. He's never fought Justin Gaethje. Could we get the type of all-action fight that could be BMF worthy, certainly fight of the year worthy? I think that would be a perfect landing for Dan Hooker.
Let's go ahead and end here, BC, with your reaction from the co-main event between Belal Muhammad, who fell to Ian Machado Garry by unanimous decision. What was going through your head watching this play out?
That Ian Machado Garry, love him or hate him, and he's very polarizing personality-wise. But what did he show us tonight against a former champion and current number 1 contender? He showed us that he's ready for the title, and even more after defeating Muhammad over 3 rounds, being the more technical striker, showing you that takedown defense. I think he's showing right now in this crowded division where there is a long list of potential contenders for Makhachev. I thought the post-fight promo that Garry delivered on the mic, in which he purposely focused on the fact that we know Makhachev, who won the title last weekend over Jack Della Maddalena, is a dominant wrestler and grappler. But what do you do to stop that? You need elite takedown defense. Ian Machado Garry, who trains with Brazilian legend Damian Maia, has that takedown defense. He's not a finisher. That's maybe the only thing we are critical of him. But what did he do in this fight against a very good striker in Bilal Muhammad? He bloodied him up early. He was never in danger, and he landed the type of shots that normally finish opponents. This division so crowded at the top, and you certainly can make an argument for many directions in which the title should go next, including the names Carlos Prates, Michael Morales, these young knockout artists who both delivered big-time KOs last weekend in Madison Square Garden. But whether it's Shavkat Rakhmonov, who defeated Ian Garry a couple fights ago, or Garry himself, these are the type of fighters who should be next in line in the sport's deepest division where there's so much talent in this top 10. There's been some talk about former champion Kamaru Usman maybe being next. The problem is he's 38 years old. He's got just one win in the last 4 years. Garry isn't a slam dunk to be next, but he certainly made the strongest case possible short of getting a stoppage win in saying that, look, you want a marketable name, you want somebody who may have the type of abilities that can cancel out the great champion and the pound-for-pound king in Makhachev. Let's see it. Show us what you got.
All right, BC. Next up, though, UFC 323. That's coming up December 6th from Las Vegas. You take a look at the main card here. What are you looking forward to most?
I mean, this is a showcase in terms of the co-main event and the main event of the lower weight divisions. Obviously, that storyline of Merab Dvalishvili looking to become the first UFC champion with 4 title defenses in a calendar year in this rematch with Petr Yan would probably or automatically give Merab Fighter of the Year honors. But don't sleep on that co-main event. Joshua Van is in his early 20s. He had a breakthrough all-action win over top contender Brandon Royval last time out. Can he, fighting out of Myanmar, upset the decorated champion, the pound-for-pound stalwart in Alessandro Pantoja? Either way, we are going to be in for an all-out war at flyweight. A strong card to close the year, including former champion Henry Cejudo there against top prospect Peyton Talbot. You can't miss it.
And that's a fact. It all gets underway December 6th from Las Vegas. Brian Campbell, always great to have you here. CBS Sports HQ.